Widespread shipping, of course, is nothing new, but sub-zero widespread shipping, we've never done that. They'll need dry ice and lots of it. Demand for the product surging ever since Pfizer announced that the vaccine needs to be kept at ultra-cold temperatures. Dry ice makers that usually supply food companies and Hollywood sets are now critical to Operation Warp Speed. CNBC's Dan Lieberman on how dry ice is firing up.
It's the next essential tool in the fight against COVID-19, dry ice, keeping the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine safe as it's stored and shipped across the country.
It's really interesting to be part of an industry that could really lend its hand here.
Capital Carbonic has been making dry ice for over 60 years. It's carbon dioxide brought to negative 109 degrees Fahrenheit and frozen solid.
The CO2 eventually winds up here at this injection site, and once it gets to a certain pressure, it extrudes it through the die.
And the family-run business says the demand for dry ice has never been hotter.
We're probably in that £1 million, a little bit more than £1 million a month.
The Baltimore-based company was contacted about helping in the distribution of Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine.
Getting to all the local pharmacies, setting that up is going to be a challenge.
But the biggest hurdle? As soon as it's made, dry ice starts to disappear.
How much time do you have before that vaccine is no longer usable?
A couple days, if it's not opened and closed.
That's because once that ice turns into gas again, and the vaccine's temperature rises, it's compromised.
I really don't believe any one dry ice company can do the whole thing. Pfizer should enlist everyone, all hands on deck.
Pfizer makes its vaccine in 3 separate facilities, then assembles it elsewhere, and then ships to sites selected by states in GPS-tracked suitcases. The Pfizer vaccine is so fragile, it has to be kept at negative 94 degrees Fahrenheit, which may require replenishing vaccine shipments with more dry ice before they reach their final destination. Medical staff at this clinic in the rural town of Goldsboro, Maryland, have plans to get dry ice from Capital Carbonic.
This is our lab area where vaccine preparation occurs.
Making planning more difficult, staff at the Department of Health Services in this county still don't know which vaccine is coming their way.
We understand that there are different parameters for the different makers of the vaccines.
Logistics for something this big in a small town feels personal.
We all consider ourselves family, and we want everybody protected.
I spoke with Maryland State's health department, and they're confident that they have a reliable source of dry ice to safeguard the vaccine. They also say they have the deep refrigerators, the freezers necessary to safeguard it too, Shep.
Dan, what happens to all the other businesses and people who already depend on dry ice?
Well, it's a very busy time of year for dry ice makers all across the country. Think about the holidays, from steaks to cheesecakes. But they say that volume is not their biggest worry. They say logistics is their biggest worry. They have plenty of dry ice here at Capital Carbonics in Baltimore. They can up the volume, but they say that the logistics, the transportation, it can be very expensive, especially the further away you get from the facility here. If you're going to rural areas, it can get very challenging, Shep.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.